everybody? Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And it's on Tuesday night on today's episode of the Prime Week 14 Monday Night Football recap, Week 15 preview and predictions. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast as we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Huddle Sports Network, which can be found on your Roku devices. So go check us out in all the places, and please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. I'm David Huppin, my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and from the Daily Blitz.blog, Mr. Christian Simpson. I was going to shit us with all the shameless plugs here today. Gentlemen, happy Tuesday, my friends. How is everybody?
Doing good, and you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I'm losing my voice a little bit. I was on vacation last week, and I think I caught a little bit of a cold. So
listen, if you need to yell at TJ, just have me do it, okay?
I know you're a pro at yelling at TJ, putting him in his place.
All the time.
But yeah, welcome to the show, gentlemen. Let's talk about Monday Night Football. Go ahead.
What you say?
See, first off, David, you know me too long to talk about somebody put me in my place. That doesn't just happen.
I know.
Oh, please. David, it's okay. I got you. I do it.
Anyways, let's move on into Monday Night Football before this goes completely off the rails, as we are timed. Let's talk about Monday Night Football and a play that I have never seen before in the history of the NFL went down on Monday Night Football as the Cincinnati Bengals, I would say, escaped, I guess, sort of, in this victory. 27-20. We don't really know how this game would have ended.
They 100% got lucky.
Yeah.
They 100% got lucky.
27-20. Cincinnati wins this game 27-20. Joe Burrow continues to be phenomenal. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Chase Brown, 14-58. Jamar Chase, 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown, TJ's guy, also had a receiving touchdown in this game. Cooper Rush was okay in this game. Completion percentage is not really where he wanted to be, but 2 touchdowns and a pick. Rico Dowell goes over the century mark for the second game in a row. CeeDee Lamb had a touchdown, and so did Brandon Cooks. But this loss officially ends the season for the Dallas Cowboys, probably. Crazier things have happened, but I would be shocked if they were able to dig themselves out of this hole now. But everybody's talking about the play towards the end of the game. I think it was like just under 2 minutes or right about 2 minutes. Cincinnati Bengals are punting the football. It gets blocked. And usually when a punt gets blocked, it either gets recovered right away or ends up going out of bounds immediately. But it went past the line of scrimmage, and it was touched by a Dallas Cowboys player who I guess was trying to recover it. And it gets picked up by a Cincinnati Bengal. My heart goes out for that poor defensive back, just trying to make a play, but really not a good decision. Bengals get the ball. They literally it might have been 1 play later. They throw a wheel route or a route to Jamar Chase. He jukes the defender out, and he just goes the distance for 40 yards, gone. Game-winning touchdown. Dallas unable to respond. Cincinnati kind of, in a way, also keeps their season very slim playoff hopes alive in the AFC. Gentlemen.
Yeah, Christian said it all the time. Has been saying it pretty much the whole season. If their record is better, not Joe Burrow's the MVP, but it's not just that. You're looking at a team that could, if they are better, if they have 10 wins right now, you're looking at the MVP, the coach of the year,
and the offensive player of the year.
The offensive player of the year in Chase, and the guy that's going to be in the running for DPOY in Hendrickson.
Yeah, he leads the NFL in sacks right now with 12.5. If they have a better record, you can make the argument they may sweep.
They sweep the important awards.
And David, remember what I said the other day? There are only 3 shining points of the Cincinnati Bengals team: number 9, number 1, and number 91.
And it's you looking at the Cowboys like your saving grace. Well, yeah, your saving grace going into this game was, hey, this defense is going to give up some points. This defense is going to give up some points. Like, you're playing the Cincinnati Bengals, you know for a fact that, hey, like, as long as we contain number 91, like Christian just said, we got it. Because Mike Hilton was he was burnt toast.
He has been most of the season, but
he was burnt toast, man. Like, hey, that CeeDee Lamb touchdown, that was a 4th and goal situation. And
yeah, it was. The only thing you can't do is get beat deep.
The one thing you can't do, like, it's not we get X amount of yards, it's a first down. Like, no, it was 6 or nothing.
Yeah.
for the Cowboys in that situation. Now, obviously,
you let him go over the top of you, like he's not the best receiver on the team. Like, it's just unbelievable.
it's like, so now to get to the situation that everybody's talking about, like I understand David was confused in the initial breakdown of it. It's so basically if it doesn't go past the line of scrimmage, it's fine. But if it goes past the line of scrimmage, don't touch the ball. Even if he don't touch it and the Bengals hit it right then and there, that's still your that's still your ball. You get the and you're on, like, you're basically in dead man's territory. Like you're like barely, like you're on their side of the 50. You're right where you want to be.
And Unc educated me on that with his tweet. So thank you very much.
And so basically, when dude touched that ball and didn't recover it, that's a live ball again. Like that's basically a fumble. And Zach Taylor's eyes just look like they want, like, on some Tim Burton Beetlejuice movie type. Like his eyes are about ready to pop out of his head because he just can't believe what he just saw. And everybody's giving Micah Parsons hell for the crash. No, that's a justifiable crash out by Micah
Parsons. You get the 3 and out, you force them to punt the ball away, and then they have to go right back on the football field. Not to mention, man, we just played a gready game. Like, sometimes I like it when they're like, you know what, I'm not shaking anybody's hand. Like, the hell with this other team.
Yes.
I just want to go home. Like, you lose in heartbreaking fashion. I just want to go home. Like, I don't want to hang out. Like.
Like that's a justifiable crash out by Micah Parsons. And it's like I've always wondered, like, as a team, like forget the coaches, when it's just the players in the locker room, what's the vibe to that player in the locker room when it's just the players, right? No coaches, no media. Like when you're when you have a player do something stupid that costs you the game, Tyreek Stevenson against Washington, this guy against the Bengals,
Orke?
No, you was right the first time.
Okay, I'm not gonna try and say it again. So there you go.
What's the vibe surrounding that player when it's just like when he's amongst his teammates? No media, no coaches. What do y'all think the vibe is? Like, is anybody even talking to him?
No, I bet he's sitting by. I you know what? I actually imagine that people are like, hey, like, this is like, the Dallas Cowboys. They luckily enough, I know they had some sort of shred of playoff hope, but their season was lost anyway. So, like, this didn't cost them their season. Like, this season was going to go in the toilet. Everybody's going to get fired regardless. But if this had been a different scenario where, like, this is a team in the hunt of things, and this play cost you the game, I don't know if that scenario is different, but I feels like it should be different. But I think they rally around this kid. I mean, he was just trying to make a play. I mean, it ends up costing him the game, but I mean, Dallas also had an opportunity to try to go down and score after the touchdown by Jamar Chase. They were just unable to move the football, and they just got killed on defense.
That last play, I'm like, that's the issue I have. I'm blaming the route concept, because who was that ball to? Like, you had Jake Ferguson at the first, but you also had Brandon Cooks on the boundary, and I'm like,
the pass was to Jake Ferguson, but it was just not a good decision, a good pass. So
okay, and I like as far as like the Dallas playoff hopes, like you said, like their season was already cooked. I'm leaning that way with Cincinnati too, because I just think it's too many good teams in the AFC for Cincinnati to play catch up.
It'll be tough, but I mean, they have the opportunity. I mean, all you have to do is play the schedule in front of you. But I think both these teams are done, but they have a slim playoff chances. Christian, you want to weigh in before we move on?
Nah, I got nothing. I really don't. I mean, the Bengals did what they had to do, and only the Cowboys lose in that fashion, which just leads me to.
Moving on from week number 14, but before we do, we got to give out our weekly game balls. And my game ball, I'm going first. I'm going to Dan Campbell and Jake Mother Effing Bates of the Detroit Lions.
That's why your voice shot all that damn yelling. Stop yelling.
Yeah. But I love me some Jake Effing Bates, and I love me some Dan Campbell with the giant cojones. They both get my game ball as they took down the lowly Green Bay Packers, because I hate Green Bay. TJ.
it's hard to ignore what Sam Darnold did. Sam Darnold had the best game of his career. This bat 22 of 28, 347, 5 touchdowns. I don't think Sam Darnold's been 22 of 28 since his USC days. And if I'm disrespectful, I'm sorry, but I can't I can't remember Sam Darnold going 22 of 28 in an NFL game.
And Christian,
Prior
as
to this year.
as a former defensive back, you watching that play where D. Alford is just like he his play just continues to get worse as you watch it. Like, what was your reaction to like his defensive effort on that play?
Listen, let me tell
Tracking
you.
the ball, I'm tracking the ball, tracking the ball. Damn.
Look, I was an edge guy, but it's okay, David.
I thought you were oh my bad.
But anytime I see a lack of effort on the defensive side of the ball, or guys aren't even attempting to tackle, it literally makes me want to stop doing what I'm doing and jump out on the field and show somebody how to tackle. I still got it.
But who's your game ball going to?
Look, even though he lost, I'm giving it to Josh Allen. He accounted for 60.
Yeah, that's tough. Speaking of, so like, do you know that before that game, like before the Rams Bills game, teams that accounted for 6 offensive touchdowns and 0 turnovers were 3-19 and 0.
Well, there's been a lot of those weird numbers this season in the NFL. Like it's been a lot
Like
of those
the offense did something like that we haven't seen since like the night. Like, he did something that we haven't seen since Otto Graham. He threw for 3. He ran for 3. They had all them points, all them yards. They didn't turn the ball over, and they lost. They are the first team in NFL history to lose a game with those numbers.
So moving on from week number 14, let's open up that chapter to the 2024 NFL season to week number 15. And let's start with Thursday night football, and another one that should be a barn burner potentially, as the Los Angeles Rams go into Levi's Stadium, the home of the San Francisco 49ers. Both these teams coming off of getting very important wins as the Rams move to 7-6 by beating Buffalo. 49ers go to 6-7 by beating the Chicago Bears. Christian.
I'm gonna take San Francisco because I can see Isaac Guerrero having a really big game. The Rams struggle to stop the run. They give up over 158 yards per game on the ground. And what does San Francisco like to do? Run the football. I'm going with the 49ers.
TJ.
I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams are getting healthy at the opportune time. Puka's back. Cooper Kupp is back. They can run the ball too. And this is going to be a typical divisional matchup. We're hoping. And I trust Matthew Stafford a hell of a lot more than I trust Brock Purdy. And there's nothing against Brock Purdy. If I choose between two, give me Matt Stafford. I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of just the banged upness of the San Francisco 49ers. And as TJ brought up, the Rams are getting healthy at kind of the right time because this team was dangerous last season, like at this time. They went on a little bit of run there towards the end. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Kyron Williams. They got, Puka Nacua. They got DeMarcus Robinson, who has never missed the playoffs in the history of his NFL career. So shout out to DeMarcus Robinson. I'm taking the Rams as well. But I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this is a San Francisco 49er victory. From there, we're going to swing into Sunday afternoon football, and let's start first at Arrowhead as they take on the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland obviously coming off getting trounced by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kansas City escaping on Sunday Night Football with that doink into the upright against the Los Angeles Chargers. Last time these two teams played was 3 years ago. Christian, do you know who won that game 3 years ago?
The Chiefs won it.
It don't matter. Next game.
The Chiefs won it 33-29. But TJ, how do you think 2024 shakes out, brother? Come on.
It don't matter. Next game. Next game.
Someone's got to be professional here.
See, that is very professional. What are you talking about?
No, it wasn't. Shut up.
How's that not professional?
Shut up. Wrong folks.
Right. This is wasting too much time.
See, this is why we can't get ahead as people.
Yeah, because of you. Because of you.
I I like Kansas City, but this is a trap game because Cleveland's upset Baltimore and they've upset Pittsburgh. But I think Kansas City, they're gonna pull some type of magic trick from
And,
this.
yeah, my bad. This game is in Cleveland, not in Arrowhead. So I'm also taking the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think anything else needs to be said. Moving on. Cincinnati Bengals and Tennessee Titans next on the docket. Tennessee obviously lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars in their own home stadium. Last time they were on the football field, and Cincinnati obviously escaped on Monday Night Football. Last time these two teams played, the Tennessee Titans hung up 27 points on the Cincinnati Bengals and won 27-3. I do not think that'll be the result this season. Give me Cincinnati. TJ.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Boyd revenge game is not happening.
Yeah, David, I'm with you. I like Cincinnati, and they continue to keep those very slim playoff chances alive.
To the next game, we're going to swing into the NFC now as we got the Commanders going down into the Bayou, taking on the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, Saints coming off beating Christian's New York Football Giants. The Washington Commanders were on their bye last week. Last time these two teams played was actually 3 years ago. New Orleans scored 33 points to the Washington football team at the time, 22 to the cruising victory for the Saints. TJ, how do you think this version shakes out? Saints, Commanders.
Now, this is more of a trap game than the Chiefs and the Browns. Like, you got a young Commanders team who could easily get lost. Like, I ain't gonna say easily get lost in the shuffle, but that dome is still a tough place to play.
Going down to the Bayou.
Like, hey, I don't care what nobody say. Voodoo was real, goddammit. But that being said, I still think the Commanders edge this one out.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Commanders. I think the Saints, they've been running a little bit of a high with, the firing Dennis Allen and bringing in whatever his name is at the head coaching position. But now Derek Carr's out for this team. And the Nooch is now a member of the New Orleans Saints. I'm super excited. He's not going to play at all, but I do love the Nooch. But give me the Commanders. Chris.
He's not going to play at all.
Yeah,
he's not going to play, but it's still fun.
Yeah, clean sweep. I like the Commanders.
If you're Derek Carr, what was the plan there, dude? Like,
it's so bad. Moving on from a rematch of Super Bowl 35 as the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Football Giants lock horns in what?
Fix that. You got Saints twice. Fix that.
Oh, hold on. All right. All right.
There you go.
That's it. All right. Back to a rematch of Super Bowl 35 where the Baltimore Ravens trounced the New York Giants 34-7 to win their first Super Bowl as a franchise. But actually, last time these two teams played was 2 years ago, and the Giants got the edge 24-20. Who's winning this version? Christian.
Oh, like at this point, if you're the Giants, what are you doing? Like, who's quarterbacking? I know it doesn't matter.
Drew Lock is probably going to continue to roll them out there. What does it matter at this point? Like, there's nobody else.
If you're the Ravens, dead ass, bro. Like, this game should, like, I joke a lot about the superior teams winning games by halftime. No, dead ass. This game should be over by halftime. This game should legit be 28-0, 28-3, whatever, by half. If it's not, we're going to have a problem.
I'm also taking the Ravens to probably repeat the score of that Super Bowl 35. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they won that game 34-10. Or no matter where they play this game, MetLife or wherever that Super Bowl is played. Moving on, staying with the NFC East, sort of, as they welcome in the NFC South Carolina Panthers. Is that correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. No, the Panthers. Sorry, the Panthers are at home. Charlotte, man, I got to stop looking up a bunch of things all at once. Cowboys 5-8, coming off losing that heartbreaking game against the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Panthers also coming off losing a sort of heartbreaking game against the Philadelphia Eagles. But they have played better as of late. Last time these two teams played was last year. Dallas Cowboys hung up 33 points on Carolina and cruised to the 33-10 victory. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers. I like what I've seen out of the fight for this team lately, especially out of Bryce Young. I think that benching has done a world of good, and this defense has been smothering over the last couple of weeks. Give me Carolina in a little bit of a mini upset. Christian.
I'm with you, David. I'm taking Carolina as well. I like what I'm seeing from Bryce Young. They play hard. You never know what version of the Cowboys you're going to get. Put me down for Carolina.
TJ.
Fucking sweep it. I thought I was gonna be the only one to pick the Panthers, but like that's crazy. That no, seriously. I 100% thought I was gonna be the only one. Hey, no, because like y'all said, like, hey, they've shown a lot of improvement the past like month and a half or so. They're not winning the games, but that's kind of what you want from a team that's not good. Like, hey, I don't mind. I've always had this mindset of I don't mind losing. You're not gonna win everything. But if you're gonna lose, damn it, at least be competitive when you lose. They have been in these games tooth and nail, and again, you're a Xavier Legette catch away from beating one of the best teams in your conference.
I mean, you mean they took the Chiefs? They gave the Chiefs all they could handle in that game. I
know
they've lost 4 in a row, but they were in all 4 of those games.
Yeah, they were legit in all 4 of those games. So, like, that's all. If you're a struggling team, that's really all you can ask for.
Yep.
At the time, like for the time being. So, yeah, give me the Panthers.
Swinging into Duval County, and the matchup between the two, probably the most disappointing teams in the NFL so far this season, or just period this season, because we're pretty deep into the season. We got the 3-10 New York Jets, who lost to the Miami Dolphins, going into Jacksonville, taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 3-10. But they did just beat the Tennessee Titans in a game where they scored 1 total touchdown. And last time these two teams played was actually 2 years ago. Almost to the date, actually. And Christian, do you remember who won that game 2 years ago?
I was actually at that game. Jacksonville won that game.
Jacksonville did win that game, 19-3. That's when they were on a little bit of a surge there, and they ended up, going to the playoffs, and ended up upsetting the Chargers after they gave up that big lead, and and then the rest is, as we say, history. Fun fact: Jacksonville Jaguars lead the season series by between these two teams 9-8. Do you think the Jets will even that up, TJ?
Nope. No, no. The nail in the coffin has already been in there for the Jets. This one just makes it. This one just buries them legit 8 feet under, not 6, 8 feet under, and that's all. That will be all she wrote for. It's been all she wrote for the Jets. Give me the Jags. Give me Mac Jones and the Jags.
I'm going to take the Jets. The Jaguars are just – I don't think they want to win any more games this season, so I don't think the fight is going to be what the Jets, I think, are going to play for.
Why not? Like, you're not –
I think the Jaguars want to get as good a draft pick as they can, and, like, and they may still win the game anyways because the Jets are just a mess right now, but I will reluctantly take the Jets. This may be the least entertaining game of the entire weekend, or it could be the highest scoring game because neither of the teams are going anywhere. Neither of the seasons matter. Both these teams are completely irrelevant. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the monologue, at the beginning of this game, they're the 2 most disappointing teams in the NFL this year, period. Christian.
I'm with you, David.
Those two. No, God.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets. I think they do just enough to win the game. I could see this being a defensive struggle, like a 17-13 type of game.
Swinging into a match between the AFC South and the AFC East as well, but this one is in Houston as they welcome in the Miami Dolphins. The Houston Texans coming off their bye. The Miami Dolphins, obviously, they beat the New York Jets, what I just referenced. The Houston Texans actually lead the all-time season series of these two teams 8-3, and they won the last time these two teams played, which was 2 years ago, 30-15. TJ, how do you think this version shakes out?
So when he play that game, I don't think, but which is a common theme with him. This sneakily could be a really good goddamn game. Like, obviously it loses some of the luster. No Diggs, but Diggs ain't been there anyway. But if you're Houston and Miami, like, yeah, this is some this is one of those like, hey, like this could down the line, like in the future, this could be like a potential playoff matchup. Tua versus Stroud, dueling it out. Gives me.
I mean, you got Joe Mixon versus Devin Achane. Like, yeah, it's
Bro. Like, hey, like
Jalen Ramsey versus
Nico Collins,
Derek Stingley.
Nico, yeah, on the other side. So it's like, yeah, it's
Nico versus Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I mean,
give me the Texans. I think the Texans' ability to run the ball is what's going to push them over the edge.
And Christian, let me hear what's coming, baby.
Nah, this isn't one.
Oh no! Oh man! All right.
Don't worry, David.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little disappointed.
I said kind of disappointed.
I like Houston in this one. I'm with TJ.
I'm also going to take the Houston Texans. I think they're going to get a heavy dose of Joe Mixon in this game, and I think the C.J. Stroud will do just enough on offense to kind of propel them over the Dolphins. But this should be a very entertaining game. To the late afternoon window and into the Peyton Manning Bowl, where the Indianapolis Colts go into Mile High and taking on the Denver Broncos. The Indianapolis Colts actually lead the all-time season series between these two teams, 15-14, and they also got the most recent victory 2 years ago against the Denver Broncos. But I think this is a much different era and a much different year. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos. I think Bo Nix has been honestly the offensive rookie of the year. And I think the Colts, I know they're coming off their bye. So is Denver, actually, for that matter. But I will take Denver. I think that their defense is better than the Colts. I also think I have more faith in the offense of Denver, which sounds crazy to say, given that they're starting a rookie quarterback. But give me Denver, TJ.
Same. I just don't like what I'm seeing from the Colts. Bo Nix, I tried to tell people about Bo Nix going into the draft. He should have been the third quarterback taken, but people wanted to look at his age and all this other stuff as a reason to punish him. It's like, that's so stupid. I guarantee you, I think the Patriots wish they had Bo Nix over Drake May. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. But hey,
I think the Patriots are pretty happy with who they got.
Why?
Drake May's done something. And like when you look at the supporting cast around Drake May compared to what Bo Nix is working with right now, it's like night and day.
Exactly. So why would you not want the more experienced quarterback to work with that? Like, that's you're saying, like, you literally said.
But I say what I'm saying is that if Bo Nix was in New England, his numbers would look like Drake May's. He would not be as good as he is.
I don't even think Drake May would see the field with Sean Payton. Are you kidding me?
Yes, he would. They don't have another guy. Zach Wilson's going to be starting. Come on, get out of here.
No, bro, she probably would. Like, yeah,
Christian.
I like Denver in this one. I think they're going to go on a little bit of a run. I'm not saying that they're obviously not going to win a division, but this could be one of those teams that you don't want to see come playoff time. They're young. They're playing with house money. They do it defensively. And, yeah, I agree with you about Bo Nix.
To probably the most anticipated matchup on the schedule from this weekend. I think it loses a little bit of the luster that the Bills fell to the Los Angeles Rams last week, because this could potentially be in like the preview of the both number one seeds in their respective conferences. I don't think it'll end up being that anymore. But still, the 10-3 Buffalo Bills going into Ford Field and taking on the 12-1 Detroit Lions. Last time these two teams played each other was 2 years ago, and Buffalo edged out the Lions 22-25. And Buffalo actually leads the all-time series between these two teams 7-4-1. TJ, how do you think 2024 shakes out between Bills, Lions, what could be a Super Bowl preview?
I disagree. This game lost some of its luster because
I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. So I'm wrong all the time about everything. So
I will say this: if I'm the Lions, this is the last guy I want to see with 13 guys on my defense just banged up, like just not there. Like, I don't want to see Josh Allen coming off a 6-touchdown game and losing in the fashion that they lost, because hey, we might we gonna put up our points with the Detroit Lions. Like we gonna do what we do, but and Dan, I want to see what's the plan if Dan Campbell, because if he felt that way about Jordan Love in the last few seconds, like not giving him, what you gonna do with Josh Allen? Are you gonna keep the same energy? I hope you keep the same energy. Like if it's 4th and short and you got the lead, or and it's a tie game, Dan Campbell, that's who you go. That's who you go for it against. Like that's who you. Yeah, I'm not giving the ball back to Josh Allen.
No way.
Like, give me Buffalo.
So I think this is one of those rare, like absolute coin flip games. I think this could go absolutely either way. But yeah, you make a really you like make a really good point about the defense being banged up for the Detroit Lions. And when your defense is banged up, Josh Allen and this offense in Buffalo is the last team you want to see. I will take Buffalo. I will take Buffalo. This could be one of those games where like Buffalo kind of just brings up the like they could really circle the wagons like only Buffalo Bills can in this game. And by the way, tickets for this game, this is cheapest $286 for the cheapest ticket in Ford Field. I'll take Buffalo.
They probably had a ticket that expensive since Megatron was there.
Maybe not even then. We're talking about Barry Sanders days where those teams were like actually like yeah. Right. Christian, hit me with it, baby.
David,
let's go.
It's that time.
It is that time.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 1.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one. The NFL today is actually going to be in Detroit for this game, and I wish the networks would kind of do like a college game day-esque type of thing where they go to like each network goes to the marquee game of the day. But this is big time. I mean, Buffalo did lose that tough game because they were looking ahead to this one. I mentioned it yesterday in the recap show. The Lions, they just continue the roll. But this is going to be fun. I can't wait to get my hands on this. I am releasing this one on Sunday, an hour before the game. So be on the lookout for it.
To another barn burner of a matchup between two AFC and NFC powerhouses, the 10-3 Pittsburgh Steelers going into the city of brotherly love in a state where they both share Philadelphia Eagles in Pennsylvania, if you didn't know that already. Last time these two teams played was 2 years ago. Hold on, sorry, I got some pop-ups here, so I can't see what the score is. It don't matter. Philadelphia Eagles lead the all-time series 49, 29, and 3. So there's some serious history between these two franchises. But Philadelphia Eagles has seemed to have the edge, and they also won the last time these two teams played. Christian, hit me with it again, baby.
David, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 2.
Baby. And that's why you ain't got no voice.
Jinx, you owe me a soda pop, baby.
No, he doesn't.
You owe me a Coke or an orange soda.
Okay, I got you. Philly just continues to roll. I mean, I was scared for them the other day because Carolina really played them all the way tough until the fourth quarter. The Steelers, they've won their last 2 games. They're closing in on an AFC North title that I don't think anybody expected them to win. It's the first meeting between Russell, last name Wilson, and Jalen. Damn, that hurts. This is gonna be fun. I can see the ball really flying around. You got 2 of the best defenses in the league. I just want to see how the Steelers are going to prepare for Saquon Barkley. Are they going to sit everybody at the line of scrimmage and dare Jalen Hurts to beat them? And look, I'd be okay with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith beating me in this game. Anybody
at this point, right?
Yeah, anybody but Saquon. I previewed this one on Thursday. Be on the lookout.
Think about what you just said, though. Like, really, like, teams are, like, really think about that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, especially how good this offensive line is for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think these two teams are very evenly matched. I think they both do the similar stuff, and like they do. I don't know what George Pickens' status is for this game. I know he was inactive for their most recent game against the Cleveland Browns, so hopefully he comes back because that makes it even more compelling. But I think this comes down to the little things, right? Like the little things, like special teams. And when I talk about special teams, I'm talking about place kickers. And when I'm talking about place kickers, I'm talking about Chris Boswell versus Jake Elliott. And I think it's going to come down to a kick. Who do I have more faith in right now? It's Chris Boswell. Give me the Steelers. In what is maybe an upset, because this game's in Philadelphia, and the Eagles have the momentum. I think they've won 9 games in a row. But I'm taking the Steelers because I have more faith in Chris Boswell than I do Jake Elliott right now, who's been rocky this season.
But back to my point, you have Jalen Hurts, you have AJ Brown, you have Devontae Smith, and Christian brought up a truly magnifying point that you would rather lose to those combination of players than Saquon Barkley. Like, I also think that's kind of I can't think of the word, it's not coming to me, but obviously, like, Jalen Hurts is still not where he needs to be as a passer for you to be like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is not beating me with his arm. Like, that's he's not there yet, right? You would you walk to the middle of the field if Jalen Hurts throws for 330, 4 touchdowns, and they beat you that way. I think that with the Steelers, you go into this game knowing that, priority number one, Saquon Barkley is not finna have a day on me. Not happening. Like, you shut down Derrick Henry to an extent, and now it's like, can we do it again? Basically, give me the Steelers. Yeah, give me the Steelers in the close one.
Moving on from there, we swing into the big toaster as the Arizona Cardinals welcome in the New England Patriots. And I'm not sure how many Super Bowls the New England Patriots won in the big toaster. I think it's like 3 in the history of that franchise. But the last time these two teams played was 2 years ago. New England roughed up the Arizona Cardinals 27-13, almost to the date. Actually, it was 12-12-2022. TJ, how do you think this version shakes out in 2024? As these two teams are definitely on opposite projections.
The Cardinals need this one. You got the Rams and the Niners they're gonna beat up on each other. The Seahawks are in a tough game with the Packers. You need this. You need this one if you're Arizona. Give me the Cardinals. I also saw something that's kind of disturbing. I don't know if it's necessarily true, but apparently Gerard Mayo is coaching for his job, and that just irks me. That rubs me the wrong way, because why would you hire the guy then if you were only going to get?
I mean, we talked about this originally when he was first hired. They didn't have a choice.
But like, if that's the case, then you're saying we absolutely had a choice, and you just went with it. Like, if the plan was to one and done Gerard Mayo, I'd rather not have gotten the job at all. Then I would rather have kept.
There was like a clause in his contract that, like, they either had to promote him to the head coach or fire him, and I think they just were like, well, he's already on the books, so we'll just keep him. So I mean, it's so ridiculous that he's coaching for his job, but I could see why. I could see where the logic is there.
It's like, think about it. It's like, so you hire this guy, you give him basically scraps to work with, and it's like, oh, you're coaching for your job. Like, to me, that's not fair. But give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals. They need this more than the Patriots do.
I'm also taking the Arizona Cardinals. I think these are just a better football team on paper than the New England Patriots are at this point in the game. So give me Arizona. Christian.
I'm with you guys. I'm taking Arizona as well. This is a must-win game for the Cardinals. They dropped their last 3.
Moving on to the final game in the late afternoon window, and a game that has playoff implications in both conferences, starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, fresh off beating the Las Vegas Raiders last week, and the Chargers are now going to try to pick up the pieces after they lost a nail-biter to the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Last time these two teams played was 4 years ago. Christian, do you remember who won that game 4 years ago?
And remember, Brady was still playing. It was the only meeting between Justin Herbert and Tom Brady.
Yep.
The Buccaneers won it, and I remember it being a shootout.
It was a shootout, 38-31 Tampa Bay, really early in the season. So Tampa Bay was 3-1, Chargers 1-3. Going into some stats here, Justin Herbert was 20 of 25, 3 touchdowns and a pick, but not to be outdone, Mr. GOAT himself, as TJ likes to call him, 30 of 46 with 369 yards, 5 touchdowns and a pick on his end as well. But how do you see this version shaking out in 2024? Christian, you have the floor.
Man, this is a game that can go either way. This is a coin flip to me because Tampa Bay's found their swagger, and Tampa Bay, you just see the difference Mike Evans makes for this offense when he's on the field. But most importantly, they're running the ball. Tampa Bay has to turn this into a shootout, I feel. And they're going up against a really tough defense. I think this could be one of the better games of the day. I'm going to go Tampa by a field goal. I think they're going to get a tough win across the country.
I think this Chargers defense has been playing out like otherworldly so far this season. I'm a little bit concerned about the Bucky Irving injury and how available he's going to be in this particular matchup. I'm going to take the Chargers, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if Tampa Bay came out victorious in this game. But I think the Chargers, they play stifling defense. I think Justin Herbert will do just enough on offense. And I think they'll run the ball effectively with Gus Edwards, and whoever the other guy is on that. Right?
Yeah,
and I also hope Lad McConkey returns to their lineup because he's a real difference maker at the wide receiver.
He really is. I've been saying what Puka Nacua is to the Rams. That's what Lad McConkey is to the Los Angeles Chargers. And yeah, David, I'm switching. You just kind of convinced me because I forgot Bucky was hurt. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers. If this game were in Florida, I'd probably lean toward Tampa.
TJ.
Hey, y'all just don't have that faith in Rachaad White like that. I mean,
he's good. I mean, he was good last year. I'm not really understanding that running back room in Tampa Bay right now. Like, because they also have what's his name, Sean Tucker, who also gets carries. So.
I get it. I understand it. Lad McConkey being the go-to guy for Justin Herbert as a rookie, by the way, is not a problem. That's a great show and face. Like, bro,
yeah.
That's.
I mean, you definitely notice his absence in that game against the Chiefs for sure.
That's amazing. Like this rookie comes in and he wasn't a high profile. Like, he wasn't a high profile rookie to an extent. Like, he was. He went to
Georgia. He was a second round pick. I mean,
it's like he was definitely a guy that when you played Georgia during their 2-year run, it's like, oh damn, we forgot about Lad McConkey because they were that's how stacked Georgia would be on the offensive side of the ball, and all of a sudden Lad McConkey done lit you up for a good 6 or 7 catches. He got about 80 to 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and all of a sudden it's like, damn, we game plan for everybody else except Lad McConkey. And I gotta go with the Bucks. I still gotta go with the Buccaneers in this one. I trust Baker Mayfield to make a throw, to make a play that Justin Herbert probably won't make. I trust Mike Evans more than I trust any other receiver on the Chargers. And I think Todd Bowles is going to outcoach Harbaugh on one Sunday afternoon. Give me the Buccaneers.
2 Sunday night football.
Real quick. Do the Buccaneers clinch the division if they win?
No.
Or do they need some more stuff to happen?
No, they need help still because they're only a game up on the Falcons, and the Falcons have basically essentially the tiebreaker. So they would need to win 2 more, I think.
Falcons swept them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, so I think they would need to win 2 more. But swinging into Sunday Night Football, going into Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington, the home of the Seattle Seahawks, as they welcome in the 9-4 Green Bay Packers. Both these teams coming off playing division rivals, but with opposite results. Obviously, the Packers lost to the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football. The Seahawks beat the Arizona Cardinals in the toaster on Sunday afternoon. Last time these 2 teams played was 3 years ago, and Green Bay shut out the Seahawks 17-0. TJ, what do you think happens here?
Crazy things happen when Green Bay plays Seattle in Seattle. Right, we got the playoff game where Green Bay goes up big and then Seattle just walks them down. Kick started with a fake field goal that went for a touchdown, by the way, and Everybody remembers the onside kick that all dude had to do was block and let Jordy Nelson get the ball, but nope,
Richard Rogers wasn't having it.
he just had to be the hero. And I remember Izzy losing his mind over that one,
Yeah.
which was hilarious, by the way. Then you have the touchdown interception with the replacement refs. Give me Seattle. Again, weird things happen when the Packers play Seattle in Seattle, and they always benefit Seattle.
I'm not giving any analysis because I think Green Bay is a better football team on paper and on the field, but I'm taking Seattle because I'm a hater and I just don't want to see Green Bay win a game ever again. Christian.
David.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Let's go. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Shameless plug number 3. Let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of history between these two teams. I remember Fail Mary in 2012. That's the worst call I've ever seen. You got one ref
2012 already. Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro. That was my freshman year of college. That's how long ago that was.
Yeah, I still had hair at that time.
That's tough.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And they've met in the playoffs countless times. This is a big game for both teams. I mean, Green Bay, they've had quite some time to regroup after that loss because that was tough last week against Detroit. But Seattle is hot right now. They've won their last 4, and they're a gritty football team. I saw that grit on full display in East Rutherford when they played the Jets. Down by...
I'm pretty sure Kenneth Walker, so he was like basically a game time decision on Sunday. I imagine he'll be back in this game.
Yeah, but if not, I think Zach Charbonnet is more than capable.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just making a
shouldering the responsibility. He's James Conner 2.0, hard runner, catches the ball out the backfield. He's the perfect complementary asset to Kenneth Walker III. And Seattle has a sneaky, explosive offense, like I've been saying. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant. This is going to be a fun one, and I know the weather is supposed to be a factor in this game. I preview this one tomorrow. Be on the lookout.
Swinging into Monday Night Football, and for some reason we were bested with this slate of games on Monday Night Football. No offense to at least 2 of the teams, but this is not a barn burner of a lineup when it comes to 2 Monday Night Football games. I don't understand why they didn't flex some of these other games to either Monday or whatever. But first, let's start with Minnesota going against the Chicago Bears. This game is at U.S. Bank Stadium. Obviously, the Bears are coming off losing that game. It's against the San Francisco 49ers, and the Minnesota Vikings are coming off what is arguably their best performance of the season against the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, these teams went toe-to-toe earlier this season. Minnesota won that game in overtime. I'm going to take the Vikings. I think especially because this game is at home. Give me Minnesota. TJ.
Same. Again, there's just nothing the Bears do that gives me faith to pick them. It's the slow start.
Like you basically don't start playing football until after halftime. Like that's a recipe for disaster, no matter what level of football you play.
And it's been the common theme during this losing streak, and it was It literally happened when they played the Vikings. You got off to such a slow start. You had to dig yourself out of a hole, and you needed 13 points in 11 seconds. I mean, you got it, but then you go to overtime, and then it's almost like, oh, this is a start of a new game, and then you just don't do anything in overtime, and you lose in overtime. And the saving grace was, before that, the games they lost before the Niner game, it was like they lost to the Packers, they lost to the Vikings, and I forgot who else. A combined those 3 losses, they lost by a combined 7 points. 7 points. They lost 3 one-score games, and then now you play. And usually, how it goes when you get the rematch, it never goes the same way. It never goes the same way. Because that's just the Bears, and that's just their luck. So they're going to go into Minnesota, and fans are going to think that we were this close last game. Well, that was last game. It's not going to happen this time. It's not going to happen this game. And yeah, give me Minnesota.
Christian.
Yeah, I like Minnesota as well. I just haven't seen anything that I've liked from the Chicago Bears. Minnesota, they're rolling right now. I mean, they've gotten back on track. That was the best, like TJ said, that Sam Darnold has ever looked on a football field. And I've gone as far as to say this is the best season that he's had since he's been in the NFL. It just took
I don't think that's even remotely a close debate.
Sometimes it just takes one coach to get you right, and that's what Kevin O'Connell has done. For him.
They're going to have a very, like, this is off-season stuff, but they're going to have a very interesting decision to make in the off-season, like, because they
talked about that on First Take.
Because Sam Darnold's only on a 1 year deal, expiring contract. You drafted JJ McCarthy to be the guy of the future, but if Sam Darnold, let's say he takes him to the Super Bowl, what do you do then?
They 100% talked about that yesterday, and that wasn't one of the questions, David. If he takes you to the Super Bowl, what do you do? But somebody, I think it was Dan Orlovsky, who says Sam Darnold's going to get anywhere from like 110 to 150 million from the team. And if you're Minnesota, like you're okay with letting that walk out the door if it's that much. Like he could because Sam Darnold's earned it. Like he's earned it. And the only way I see them keeping Sam Darnold is if you look at JJ in the offseason and he's not where you want him to be.
I mean, but you'll have to make that decision before you even see JJ McCarthy on before spring training. Let's wait on the line. Let's talk about that way later. Let's talk about the final Monday Night Football game on ESPN. It's the Atlanta Falcons who are reeling. I think they lost 4 games in a row here, going into the Death Star and taking on another team that's also reeling, the Las Vegas Raiders, who probably going to have Desmond Ridder as their starting quarterback. Will try to get his revenge dagger against the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think that happens. I think Atlanta wins this game fairly easily. Period. Christian. Oh, yeah. Also, last time these two teams played actually was 4 years ago. Atlanta Falcons hooked up 43 points on the Las Vegas Raiders, winning that game 43-6. I could see the score being very similar to that score in this one. TJ.
Bro, the petty in me want the Raiders to wait. Ain't that where Desmond Ridder's at?
He's gonna start for them probably. I think Aiden O'Connell has like a broken hand. That's what I was talking about. The revenge dagger.
The petty in me want Desmond Ridder to go out there so bad and just have a day, but then I got to hear that. Me and Christian got to hear that one Raiders fan's mouth. But if you're Atlanta, it's like, bro, we talked about it yesterday. Like there was no way that game against Minnesota couldn't have ended any worse than what it did. Like it was just
real quick.
Real quick. It's just like it's a tie game, and then you blink and it's like, wait, it was just 21-all. Now it's 42-21. Like what the hell happened? That being said, give me the Falcons just because it's Kirk Cousins. Like, bro, Kirk Cousins should absolutely have a better day at the office than Desmond Ridder.
Well, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so, right? Like, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so.
You would hope so.
But that's been our Week 14 Monday Night Football recap, our Week 15 preview and prediction show. Thank you very much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe to us on the podcast. We are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and on the Huddle Sports Network. You can find that on all of your Roku devices. I'm David Huffman. Right there's my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and from the Daily Blitz.vlog, Mr. Christian Simpson. And gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
We laugh at the bad teams like this.
We'll be back here tomorrow with Fantasy Football Weekly. You guys stay up to date on everything related to Prime Sports World on all our social media pages. We'll
and just because we haven't done this in a while, fantasy football.
We'll be back here tomorrow doing that show, so keep an eye out for all that content. And now just a quick message from our sponsor here at Huddle Sports Network. Thank you very much, Huddle Sports Network, for inviting us onto your network. We very much appreciate it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Take care. Peace out, brothers.
Yep.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing